is a pain in the butt. You hit your ball in the trees and then you lip out the putt. But if you've got a little time, then come and spend it with us. 'Cause now you're listening to the Rough Cut.
Hello, and welcome down to another episode of the Rough Cut Golf Podcast, and it is a very special one this week because it is the second major of the year. The PGA Championship graces the green, woody slopes of Oak Hill East Course. It is a rejuvenation of a classic Donald Ross design, which promises absolute fireworks. And on this podcast, we have Kieran and Jacob, my wonderful co-hosts. Mick, we just come back from Turkey, so Mick is having a lie-in today.
It's starting to look like he's just not part of this anymore. Yeah. It's like 3 in a row now that he's not here.
We were like slowly edging him out. We'll mention it. We'll mention him once next week. Then the week after we'll forget. Then the week after that we'll mention him. We'll just slowly phase him out.
Yeah, just giving us an opportunity to get our segues in, isn't it? Just we're just getting better and better every week.
Exactly right.
A year and a half, someone's going to turn around and go, was there another guy on this?
That'll be us. That'll be us. I'm sure there was a fourth seat here at some point.
Very, very strange. So Mickey's having a day off. We have just come back from Turkey, so kind of got back relatively late last night. Drove straight back up to Scotland. So if I do doze off at any point in this podcast, I would like to be physically or verbally prodded.
What time did you get in from the
I got in like 4 a.m.
4 a.m.
Yeah, and I'm one of my very few strengths in life. I'm pretty rubbish at everything, but operating on little sleep, I'm not too bad at. But I have only had like 6 hours sleep in 2 days, according to Whoop. So I am now in the danger zone.
Well, it's working off limited sleep with the help of coffee.
I'm literally just operating on coffee now.
Yeah, exactly.
I only have caffeine in my system.
Yeah, I haven't seen you eat today.
No, I've not.
No, yeah, you've not eaten today.
I'm not even hungry. I forgot about it.
Did you not eat when we stopped?
God.
No, you didn't, did you?
No,
you had nothing to eat.
That's
naughty. A protein bar this morning.
That's naughty.
Because I'm an athlete. Anyway, it was incredible, to be honest, Turkey. That's probably what's keeping me going, the adrenaline rush.
Yeah, it looked really cool.
We played 5 courses in 4 days, 6 courses in 5 days. There's a lot of golf, not many days. Beautiful hotel at Gloria and amazing weather. So we're over there with Jet 2 and Go Turkey. It's, to be honest, I'm excited about the videos that we're going to bring out for you. I think there's a really, really good display of golf in a lot of it. I'm actually shocked at how well I'm playing at the moment.
You're just continuing to surprise yourself.
But there's no reason why. I've not done any practice.
You've done no practice at all.
Literally nothing.
Yeah.
Like I've done shuffle, and
Are you thinking about anything, or are you just?
Yeah, I'm thinking about my swing.
Oh right, you are actually. You're not just swinging.
No, it's just a continuation from last year. But I'm looking up, and the ball is continually going somewhere where I wanted to. Apart from like one video where it did go a little bit wild, but anyway, that's a different story for a different day. We are here met at the beautiful Dundonald Links.
Beautiful.
Another reason why I'm slightly tired, like literally straight off the plane into the car. And up here, we are up here for the week.
Yep.
Filming again, lots of content. And what better place to do the podcast and to watch the US PGA?
Yes.
From this very hello turf.
I have just realised, and this has got on this trip only now, that I can see the Isle of Arran there, out there. Isn't this mad?
Yeah, it's stunning spot.
I've only literally just noticed it. Like you can actually see the Isle of Arran out there right now.
Yeah,
and Putting Green and the esteemed Links of Dundonald and
producer David.
And I just want to say, while we're here looking over Dundonald, congratulations for breaking into the top 100 courses in the UK.
Absolutely,
very, very well deserved. If you haven't had a chance to check this course out, come and play it. It's an absolute must.
This is going to test your game this week, I think.
Yeah, well, we are doing a video which is very much based around
score.
Yeah. So,
this will put you in your place this week, I think.
Long hope the good golf continues because you are going to need it.
Well, the whole point of one of the videos we're filming here is I've been so surprised about how well I'm playing. Final qualifying for the Open is at Dundonald this year.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go around. We're going to play serious golf. Very serious golf. And if I can shoot on the par around Dundonald off the championship tees, then I will enter Open qualifying.
Wow. Hot
but-
take there.
Well, you've heard it here first.
Yeah,
You can't
there
go back
you go.
on that.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if you play, like, if you manage to get through regional open qualifying, which I haven't done yet, and you get through to final, you have to shoot under par.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So if I can't shoot under par here, what's the point in even?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Like, this is my course.
Yeah.
Wait, so this is final qualifying. So where's regional?
Regional is Brassy.
Is
Oh,
it?
really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. You like that course as well?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But
You the only time you've played that is in the midst of
Yeah, but you actually played really well. that
100
course.
holes in
yeah,
a day.
I mean, we did play that course in 2 hours, so the blur of it as
Yeah.
it went past was great.
Actually, yeah.
That was a beautiful course actually. I remember it was kind of being sort of two sides to it. You sort of started where there was trees involved, and then it got very open as it
And
went
a
further on.
And a lovely buggy, I may say.
Yes,
Brand
some of the
new-
best
brand
buggies
new
I think
buggies,
we've
like
ever
the best
been
suspension
in.
I've ever seen on a buggy ever.
Very, very good.
Our bums were well looked after
Yeah.
that day.
Yeah, we have very few like weird things that we're into, but buggies and buggy suspension
Yeah.
does it for us.
Well, I mean,
all.
you didn't even use it at all because you walked.
No,
that
I
thing.
was admiring it while walking there.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like I wasn't moving that fast. I was keeping up with you.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I was checking out the suspension.
Yeah. No, it was good.
It was
Look
very,
at this
very good.
exhaust.
So yeah, we're doing that video, seeing if we can, if we can break par, then we'll enter it. We'll give it a go. We'll film it. Being a PGA Pro, playing in the Open would be absolutely amazing. But there are PGA Pros also playing in a major event this week.
Yep.
What a segue
That's
that was.
brilliant.
At the US PGA, I think there's 20 of them.
20,
Yeah,
yeah.
20 of them.
So 20 regular-ish pros. I mean, we say regular pros.
As regular can be.
A lot of the PGA Pros in the US are practically
They're playing.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
players.
Yeah.
They're there for a reason. But the actual second major of the year, originally when Oakmont was picked, when Oak Hill, was picked, it was meant to be in September.
Yeah.
So the US PGA was traditionally the last major of the year,
Yeah.
and now it has moved to May. This would not be an issue except that Oak Hill is in northeast.
It's like near Canada, isn't it?
Rochester,
Yeah.
Rochester, New York.
Rochester, upstate New York.
Yeah.
It's practically in Canada.
Yeah, literally.
So a lot of the talk around this week is the weather going to be good? Is the course going to be ready? By all accounts, the weather is going to be okay.
Oh, I've got intel. It's fine.
But cold. But cold.
But chilly.
Yeah.
Mid 60s,
Yeah.
but I'm talking Fahrenheit rather than Celsius.
Yeah. They're going to have sweaters on.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
snoods.
Schnoods. Outer layers. The early morning starters will be rocking their thermals.
I can
is what we
see
believe.
Adam Scott's like full beige set already.
Oh.
He's going to just blend in perfectly.
He won't do though, will he?
No?
Adam Scott won't, because you expect him to wear beige. But if he's going to wear a thermal, he'll wear like a grey thermal, like a pink top, and like navy trousers, and then a yellow cap.
Oh yeah, fair.
Just something that doesn't go.
I don't know. Like, I don't know how he consistently gets it so wrong.
Yeah.
The thing is, like,
He's such an
Is it
attractive
him?
man.
Is it him getting it wrong,
Well,
or is it just his
he-
scripting
who's
from?
his sponsor?
It's,
Is it Uniqlo?
Yeah.
Yeah, Uniqlo. Yeah.
Like, they are a big, like they're
Yeah,
a
yeah,
big, big brand, and I cannot believe that they are giving. They might give him his scripting, but just not tell him what order it's meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just
But-
give
And
him
he's
the
just
clothes.
mixing it up.
You put it
It's-
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good job. He's quite a good-looking bloke, though, isn't it?
Oh no, like he
Yeah.
can literally pull off anything.
Yeah, he's- yeah.
But my annoyance with it is he's such a good-looking bloke that he could be a stunner. He could be a knockout.
Yeah.
Like people could be swooning over him more than they already are. Adam, get it together.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Talk less about what they're looking
Anyway.
like and more about how they're
I
going
have
to
a
play.
question about the PGA Pros and that. Could you enter that, or is it just US?
it's US.
US,
PGA,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
So they enter it kind of. Well, it's one of the bugbears with like UK based PGA compared to US PGA. So the US PGA, if they win their qualifying competitions, they get into a major.
Yeah.
The UK PGA. So we used to play the PGA Championship, our version of it. And if we won and finished high in that, we could get spots in the PGA Wentworth.
Oh wow.
But slowly, like over the years, that's been degraded,
rid of that.
and I think maybe the winner gets a spot now. But that's it. It's like
Yeah.
one
Really?
spot.
One spot.
And
Wow.
it's not ideal. However, for the 20 PGA Pros playing, good luck.
Yeah, fair play. Good
play
luck to
well, enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
It's going to be a challenge.
It looks
It's-
brutal.
It's
Sounds
gonna be a
brutal.
challenge. Well, the last time it was played here, the US PGA, Jason Duffner won 2013,
2013, yeah.
and it was it's an interesting one because it was a course that's obviously it's a Donald Ross design,
Mm-hmm.
very classical in many respects, and then over the years it kind of morphed into something a little bit different. Still a fantastic golf course, it's Oak Hill. It's a name everybody knows, but it went away from the original design. So 2020, decision was made. They ripped out hundreds of trees.
Yeah, loads of trees.
They redid all the bunkers, all the greens, and returned it to more of that classic design.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not familiar with the Donald Ross design course, generally it's going to be a raised up green,
Yep.
lots of runoff areas, and vicious bunkers
Yep.
Vicious bunkers.
and vast greens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what Donald Ross is East Lake as well, and Pinehurst number 2. So yeah, the course looks, well, for one, just from the pictures, looks absolutely stunning. The work they've done on the greens, I think it was Andrew Green is the guy who's overlooked that in 2020. Yeah, good name for course
Right now.
coursework. All those greens just up on their sort of their individual plateaus and tables. They just they look so flat from above, but are naturally going to be very undulating, and they're not big either. Some of them are of reasonable size, but there's already been mention of these greens for the length of this course it's going to play. Like you say, 7,300 I think is the maximum it can be.
Par 70,
as well. Yeah, these greens are small for that length, so it's going to be a really. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to this week.
Well, I think the US PGA has struggled, I would say, for the last 20 years to have like an identity. You go to the US Open, for example, it's going to be
So tough.
it's going to be brutal.
So tough.
It's going to be vicious.
Yeah.
Like players are going to leave that course in tears, wondering why they ever took up the game. The Open, again, it's a links test. And the best thing about the Open is it could be very tough and entertaining. It could be still and entertaining.
Yep.
The wind could blow in the morning, or the rest of it, you get all the conditions. It's wild.
Yeah.
The Masters is Augusta.
You know what you're getting.
Enough said.
Yeah.
But the US PGA, like for the last, to be fair, 3-4 years, has maybe been one of the most entertaining majors as far as like the players who've been in contention.
Yeah.
And like battling it out at the top. I don't know if that's a thing to be possibly known as. Like,
It's
'cause there's
been
no way to
more
predict.
like-
A lot more drama. Sort of. Yeah.
It's more been like the kind of shootout major where guys will they can make birdies and guys will get to the top of the leaderboard and the cream naturally just rises to the top. I mean, obviously last year we saw Mito basically hand it away on the 18th and be somewhat of an unknown coming into
Still
that.
brutal. That.
Yeah, I could. That was a tough watch on full swing. I must
And the
admit.
year before as well, Mickelson.
Yeah,
That's a big one.
It's a competition that can pull out some. I don't want to say unknowns, 'cause obviously Mickelson's an unknown, but a guy that you wouldn't expect naturally coming into the week to be at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, so maybe that that entertainment factor it's a very difficult thing to try and measure and to try and predict, of course. But I'm excited because we're going to get to see a course which a lot of people will be familiar with, but redesigned for its former glory. And from all accounts, from what the rough has been like, from like what the greens are looking like, it's going to be tough. A lot of people are saying anywhere between level and 5 under is probably going to be the winning score. So it's going to be a tougher test than maybe a few previous US PGAs. And I mean, there's only 2 par 5s and they're both under 600 yards.
Yeah,
Yeah. Over 600 yards.
Over 600.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think on one of them there is like a ditch which is about 300 yards off the tee, and if the weather's not cold, people are going to be laying up short. It could be a major where the 2 par 5s are 3 shotters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
which is going to be unusual.
Which naturally these days, when players rock up onto a par 5, you just kind of put a circle around the score and say that's the birdie, isn't it? Like it's just so.
That is such an awkward sort of that creek being 300 away. That is such an awkward distance, isn't it? Because not a lot of people are carrying 300, are they?
I must be honest. I'm not a fan of creeks.
Yeah, I know you hate that sort of thing, and like bunkers in the middle of the fairways as well, don't you?
It does matter, don't you?
Yeah, you don't like that. But
Not
no, it it's course management, isn't it?
It's like the 18th on the Earth. I don't think you've ever
literally the worst hole in golf. We'll throw up a picture now. It's got a creek which runs directly down the middle of the fairway towards the green.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, but it offers like with that one you can go right and you can like bomb it right and you can go right at the creek and it's a good line in. Or
If anybody can justify a way that you should get punished for hitting the centre of a fairway, I'm willing to listen. But
it's not a bad point to be made. To be fair,
I know what you mean.
yeah. Listen, it's just a personal thing. Just keep your trouble offline.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
What's your like anticipation and build up now, knowing that Oak Hill's going to potentially play as tough as it is? Are you excited for that? Because obviously there is a conversation on people thinking, do you want entertaining birdie-free golf all the time, or is it quite fun to see the guys potentially struggle?
For me, when the course is tougher, that's when you see the best players rise.
Yeah, 100%.
If the course is a little bit more playable, then you can get a few stranger names getting up there. Obviously, that's a possibility whenever, but I think the harder a course is, the more it's going to reward ball striking, especially if it's like pretty thick rough. The only issue, you'd say, with the modern game is making course long and making the rough thick is going to play more into the bigger hitters' hands.
Yeah, because I remember watching the 2013 PGA, and it was such like a plot around golf course. That's why Jason Duffner was just so good, and he just like hit every green in regulation. Like it was just great.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is just going to be a who can hit it the longest and who can have the best wrists in the in the rough.
Who's got the strongest wrist?
He's got the strongest wrist.
It's
Do like grip tests.
It's like
before you go on
Bryson. Bryson for the US Open. Like going into that, you just knew that was going to be set up for Bryson because
winged
foot. Yeah, like literally, he just was bombing it. Didn't matter where it went. He knew he was going to do it.
Yeah, so I'd say that if 2013 when Jason Duffner won, the course, as we've mentioned, has had some changes. I think it's over 200 yards longer now. They've obviously taken loads of trees out, which used to play into, as you say, plotting yourself around the course. You had to find parts of the fairway to actually get a shot at the green, where now they've removed some of those trees, which will help you now go for the green with ease, I suppose. But it's going to be a really fun week. I think there's potentially a few guys naturally who are always going to be up there. I suppose the first guy we could probably start on is Rory, because that is going to be, as always, going into a major, like talk of the week. How is this guy going to get on? Because he's an anomaly now, isn't he? It's an enigma. We don't know what he's going to come as.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a tough one at the moment because he is obviously still one of the best players in the world. He's still the most talked about player in the world, probably.
Definitely. Yeah.
I mean, I'd say over in Europe, but kind of in the US as well, because he does have that star appeal and that kind of X factor that we all love. As far as a course to suit certain players, it's a very cliche thing to say because every course would suit him, but Oak Hill really should suit him.
Yeah.
Like you've got to be long off the tee, you've got to have the strength to shift it out of the rough, which he does, and his short game, his putting, you could maybe say, isn't the strongest as it could be, even though I think he's probably an underrated putter. But his creativity around the green is fantastic. He's an amazing bunker player. And some of the bunker redesigns that they've done, they look brutal. And it's going to be a key factor, scrambling ability around the greens. And he does have that skill. So a lot of it, I think, with Rory at the moment depends on what's going on upstairs. That seems to be his biggest problem, really.
Yeah, but also with Rahm coming into the pardon me, with Rahm coming into the Masters, I seem to remember he's sort of dropped off a little bit, didn't we? We didn't really talk
he went
about
under the
him.
radar.
He did, and he was still world number 3 at the time, and this is now this is going to be like a Rory at the moment. I think not playing particularly well at the moment by his standards, but now he's got pressure on him, but he's not got like pressure like Jon Rahm and Scottie Scheffler, who are obviously at the moment the two best players in the world. You know what I mean? So
he was never going to enter a major week without being spoken about.
Yeah,
and
no, 100%,
naturally, as
100%.
you walk into a course and they say, "Oh, it's good for people who are long off the tee." Well, who's the first name that comes to your head? Rory McIlroy, which is understandable because he does hit it a very long way.
Yeah,
It's I have false optimism. I think I want him to do well, but I wonder if he's going to be able to find the form he needs to win. He, as you say, is a great scrambler. I think those bunkers are going to come into play a lot. There's a lot of people that have made reference to the fact that his wife is from Rochester. So there's this kind of like everyone's going to be on his side because he's got family there.
Wow,
She's a local.
She knows the course.
Like naturally,
she's on the bag this week.
Naturally,
Harry's out.
naturally, that area of America and sports fans have been known to be fairly sort of rash and rowdy, and potentially getting them on your side is a better thing than not being on your side. And because he's got family in the area, that he'll have that boisterous crowd with him the whole way. But I mean, he has the crowds everywhere he goes, so that's not really going to be any case. But I just love the fact that this thought that his wife's family are all going to be like, everyone's coming out like.
I like that.
So
I like
weird.
that.
But maybe being back in that area and in a comfortable environment, I don't know.
Feeling at home,
these
sort of
kind
thing.
of things
Yeah.
can play into and
100%.
for the mental game, which is obviously the part he's struggling in a lot. It could,
Yeah.
And he's won it 2 times already.
look, I'm clutching at
You
straws
are
here. But
reaching
look,
so far.
that's what we have to do for Rory
What
at the
a
minute.
reach this is. This is unbelievable. Yeah, I'm not as hopeful this week, but maybe I'm trying to reverse psychology myself.
I think you are.
I do it all the
maybe.
time
I think
now.
you are.
I think probably the biggest potential miss from this week is going to be Spieth. So out of all the players currently out there, he and Rory are the ones most likely to have that career
Complete
Grand
slam,
Slam.
yeah.
Yep.
And the US PGA is the only one that Spieth hasn't won. He was coming into this week in actually good form, probably his best play since 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And he posted on Twitter, I think it was, about his injuries that he's got.
And it
He
doesn't
says,
it
he
doesn't
says it's
sound
quite
good.
bad as well, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Severe.
Yeah,
Severe.
severe pain within the wrist is.
You know all about golf and wrists.
Listen,
and
if you want a 1,000-word essay on pain within wrists in golf, you come to me. 10,000 words, and I will give you the full breakdown. Maybe we should send him some big grips.
I was going to say, get Jumbo Max on the case.
Say, just get him some Jumbo Max grips, and there you
Fire 'em
go.
over.
Shove them on there.
Could you imagine him with them?
Oh my God, do it now.
I couldn't picture it.
Imagine his
Because
grip on them.
he's quite wristy anyway, isn't he? Like in his swing.
Not so much like actually through impact, and this is very much. This has actually no basis in like reality. I'm just kind of saying this off the cuff. As he comes through the ball, he holds his left wrist off, like pretty aggressively, really, with his wedges and his irons. Like he holds the face. He doesn't really release too much until well after impact. Now, for him to have pain in his wrist, if he holds it in that position, it's not good.
Not good, yeah.
It's really not good. Like, because you can't. The wrists are one part of the body when you swing you can't get around.
Yeah.
Like if you've got an injury, like in your shoulder, say, or you've like pulled something in your leg, you know, you got a gluteus maximus strain, you can kind of get around that. It's not comfortable, but you can still play, even to an extent. If you've got a bit of a bad back, that's probably the next on the list.
Yeah.
Like
Is that true, David? Producer David? Is that true? Yes, he's nodding.
The nod. Look at that.
He's propped up on pillows on the couch. You know, that's probably the next worst one. But even that, you can still get around a little bit. When it's in your wrist, you can't get away from it.
Mm.
You're hitting the ball,
You're hitting into
and
the
that
ground
is the first point of shot contact with the body. And if it's hurting, you just flinch away from every impact.
Yeah.
So
picker.
Yeah,
No divots. Just
yeah.
flick it off.
So we don't know. I mean, at this moment in time, when this podcast, at time of recording, Jordan Spieth is still down to play.
Yeah.
So he might get in there, he might not. But like he said in this tweet, he is taking it week by week.
And I think as well, like he's probably not going to take the practice rounds too serious. Not too seriously, but like, you know, he's not going to burn himself out on those, you know.
I don't know what his plans are, but maybe the practice rounds are kind of the trial run to see if
definitely.
he can go or not.
Yeah.
And maybe then he'll make his decision. But
The problem is, like, no matter how, even if he strikes it exceptionally well,
Yeah.
no matter how well he strikes it, he's going to end up in the rough.
Yeah.
He's going to end up with 150 yards that he's going to have to gouge something out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's going to be the test. And like, if he's not feeling confident and there's something going wrong in his wrist, if he damages it more, that's going to put him out for more time.
Yeah.
And the fact is, like, we do forget this about Spieth. He's still young.
I know,
Like, he still has lots of golf ahead of him. Like, there's no point kind of risking it for an injury that could like put you out for the whole season rather than a few weeks of rest. So whatever happens.
Yeah, it's just sad from there, isn't it? Because this time of year, like, this is literally getting into the meat of the season.
And you know, this is his Grand Slam, like you say.
Yeah,
Like he'll be waiting for this every year.
Well, we want this as well because we want the storylines.
Yeah.
Like, we want to see Spieth up there battling out for that Grand Slam.
Yeah.
Like, we want that.
And
So
he'll want that as well.
I hope so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Be a weird situation if he didn't.
Can't be bothered.
I'm just not.
I'm not just gonna give you a week off.
Can't be bothered. I don't even want it. Like, who wants a Grand Slam? Boring. So, Spieth, wish you well, mate. Hopefully you come through this and you can play again very soon. If you don't play this week, well, watch this. You'll probably win now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But,
So just cut all of
there's
this.
people like that though out there that like who have an injury and just like seem to like play for it and even play better.
Be scared of
Yeah.
the injured golfer. as they say.
Honestly, obviously you're right, and that's it's like a well-known kind of golfing phenomenon. But not the wrists.
No.
Nah,
Yeah.
not having it. Not having it. Jason Day, by the way, talking about injury-prone
Yeah, it's
golfers.
taken us,
Congratulations.
29 minutes to get there.
Yeah,
but-
on your win at the Byron Nelson. I think for a lot of people, like, he's been trending.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
we've
he's-
talked about him in pretty much every podcast we've had
Yeah,
since.
as far as favourites for tournaments, like I've always been a big fan of. Like, his swing's all right. I know he's changed it quite a lot to take a lot of pressure off his back, where most of his issues were coming from.
Yeah.
But I just love watching him around the green. I think he's such an amazing pitcher. He's one of the best putters in the world to watch as well. I really like his whole game. So I'm glad to see him back, glad to see him winning, glad to see him healthy as well.
Yeah, it was a really good performance actually at the Byron Nelson. He, like you say, his scrambling, his ability around the greens, his putting is just continually solid. Like, even through these changes, like, he's always been a great putter. The swing's just looking so much more sturdy. Ball striking is back, which is going to be a massive factor this week.
Yeah.
And coming off the back of a win, you know, he's going to be one of the highly touted players, I would have thought, coming into this week.
It's, I mean, you see this all the time. It's very rare. I mean, it's very rare in golf generally to win. You know, it's exceptionally hard. It's very hard to then back it up with another win.
Yeah.
You know, the fatigue of kind of winning an event, it does seem to wear down a lot of guys. So if he manages to get another win, then that'd be absolutely amazing. But the added pressure of a major, like the amount that will take out of you, we'll have to wait and see.
And that, like, this wasn't just like any other win. This was a win after 5 years of not being in the winner's circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he's how much he's gone through. So there's a lot of emotion and physical exertion that's gone into that win. And hopefully he can come and play well again. But
maybe it would just add confidence to him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
maybe.
Like,
I mean, I'd expect him to be kind of in and around their top 25. I don't expect him to be
because
challenging.
he was doing well at the Masters, and then sort of the final round, he just sort of like capitulated, which
got lost.
Yeah, he like literally got lost. It was going so well, and then just faffed it.
Well, talk about the Masters. Do you remember who won that? Mr. Jon Rahm, going for 2 in a row. Talking about storylines, I've got a good feeling he's had 2 weeks off.
Yeah, he has. Yeah,
He's been chilling out. He's been mentally preparing, getting that matador attitude fired up, and he's going to rip Oak Hill apart. There ain't going to be any oak trees left. It's going to be a barren wasteland destroyed by the Spaniards.
well, by the
That's
sounds
what
of
I
it, there isn't any trees left anyway.
Yeah, that's true. He's the one who actually chopped them down.
Yeah, literally.
in preparation.
I mean, we're talking about like things we want to get behind. We're talking about storylines. For me, this is one of them. You know, we are potentially looking at a player who could really, really dominate this year. Like,
Yeah.
He's been building, and he's been one of the world's best players for the last few years, but he just seems to have added this level of consistency and this attitude of perseverance that maybe he didn't quite have, when he was letting his emotions get the better of him on the course. Now he seems able to fuel himself in the right way, using those emotions to actually propel him forward. And that's a scary thing. Because such a talking about players who you love to see put, like, it's just he's got every single facet of the game nailed down at the moment, and he can draw it now. Like, I'm well on board the Rahm train.
Yeah, I need to have a look actually how many times he's going to have to hit a draw off the tee. I mean, if this is a faders course, then we might be in trouble again for number 2. But I don't want him to do it. I know this is maybe this isn't a.
You just hate him, don't you?
No,
why do you hate Jon Rahm so much?
He's European.
No,
I can't wait till we get him on this podcast.
Yeah, literally.
I'm like, we're going to play him back this clip. I don't want him to do it. That's it. But no context.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the backtracking I will do?
Oh god.
I didn't mean it. I just meant, like, I just didn't want you to win. I want you to win another one. I didn't want you to win that one.
I think Jon Rahm seems like a lovely guy, but like I really wouldn't want to.
Oh, don't join me, Kieran. He might be coming.
No. But I just wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to piss him off. Like, I really would not want to piss him off.
Just his stare.
Exactly.
Be staring at you.
Yeah.
Just staring at you like a mud ball.
Exactly.
It's just like whenever I look into these tournaments, and I've got some future stats information coming up for my pick for this week. But whenever you look into events, and this is again plays on the fact of Rory, like how he stats out for courses, and if it's long off the tees. There's just guys that it doesn't matter what golf course they play. Like their facet of every game of the game is so good. It doesn't matter where they play. And you're just looking at who's the best in greens and reg, and who's the best par 4 scoring, and who's the best off the tee. These guys are just top 10 in everything. Yeah. So you look at these guys similar to Scheffler. He's again coming off a top 5 at the Byron Nelson. He's obviously going to be up there again as well. Does it feel like it's a Rahm and Scheffler's to win? Is it well, or lose, I suppose, whichever way around you want to put it. But
I mean, there's that many good players out there at the moment that if somebody comes through from behind them to take the victory, it's not going to be a massive surprise.
No,
they're just. You'd say that Rory, Rahm, Scheffler, they're probably they are the 3 best players in the world right now, and if somebody comes past them in the tournament, then they're probably going to win it. Really,
if you finish ahead of them, then you've won.
I would say
it's a fair bet. Yeah,
I would say so. Yeah, personally, I want Rahm to win.
I've got a bit of a question here.
Well, kind of. He's in my team though, so
he is in your team.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. Yeah.
Do you think that say Rahm wins this week? Are we thinking that we can compare this to the 2000 Tiger Woods? Like, do you think that he's now going to be beating Tiger Woods of that year? Because he obviously had 8 wins, I'm pretty sure, in 2000 Tiger Woods, and Rahm's had 5 wins already now, and a major, or is it something like that? Producer David can help me out with that.
How many wins has Rahm had in the season so far, David?
I think it's 6. I'm pretty sure, but also he hasn't gone up outside the top 20 this year, which is ridiculous. I
know he's banked upwards of $24 million so far this year.
Yeah,
but
which is mental.
It's way too early because like with Tiger, he was so dominant for so long, and the way that he did it, breaking so many records. Like Rahm isn't that kind of player. He's not an all-conquering. We'll be here for a decade and not let anybody else win.
Yeah,
how many?
4 wins.
4
wins. Well, including the Masters.
So he's rubbish.
That's
the Masters is not like a separate one.
He's hardly won anything.
God, he's slacked.
God,
I thought it was more than that.
John, do you want to actually?
He's got time.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I mean. Like, by the end of the season, I think we'll be having a conversation of comparing these 2 seasons. I reckon.
Oh no, he's well on the way for a record-breaking year in many respects. Certainly for a European golfer.
Certainly for a money way as well.
Yeah, and he's an exceptional player, but we would not. We don't want to get too carried away. Every time somebody wins a major, it's an automatic. Oh, how many do you think he can win? Oh, is he going to break Tiger's record?
It's
unfair on him
Yeah, that's yeah.
Because as soon as he does that, you start comparing him to like literally one of the greatest of all time.
Yes, but yeah.
And I'm sure by the end of his career, Rahm will be kind of judged as one of the greatest golfers of all time. But yeah, we're talking Nicklaus, we're talking Woods. Those two at this moment in time are in their own space.
No, yeah, that was good. I agree with that.
We have
What do we have?
a little bit more controversy
Do we?
again this week
We can't stay away from it.
because
What did I do?
the LIV bandwagon
Oh, okay. Phew.
is rolling into Oak Hill again.
Ooh.
They are here.
How do you reckon they're arriving? Do you reckon they're arriving on like a big private jet or like a?
I hope they all turned up like on the same bus. And
Yeah,
it rolls in.
LIV bus.
Yeah,
Big
music,
foghorn, like
music blaring.
like comes.
Big 54-wheeler
Yeah.
rolling into the car park. I think I don't know what you guys think about this, but this year the open hostility towards LIV, I think it's still there, but it definitely seems to have calmed down.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
I feel that it's become a little bit more accepted, and on a negative standpoint, as far as the PGA Tour will be concerned, European Tour, DP World Tour will be concerned, it's becoming a little bit more watched. Like the general golfing public
LIV.
are paying a bit more attention to it. Now, we're not talking loads. We're not talking a mass swinging kind of people watching that over the PGA Tour, but there definitely seems to be a little bit more interest kind of starting to be generated in it.
I think since the Masters, like I've certainly consciously looked at LIV more. So I don't know if that's a byproduct of like how well the LIV people have done, because obviously there was 3 in the top 6. So I think I've like consciously looked at the leaderboard all the time. Obviously, my mate Brooks is always up there as well, so that helps a little bit.
He has no friends.
He doesn't. Yeah, actually, yes. He'll literally tell me. Yeah,
Just acquaintances.
yeah. But yeah, no, I've been certainly like looking at like the standings a little bit more. I must say,
you won't be alone in that for sure.
Yeah.
I think there's almost a case of they just reminded everyone that they are still here.
Good player and good players.
I think that's absolutely. Yeah, I think you're right. When certainly with Brooks, with Phil, being up there around the top of the leaderboard.
Phil was wild.
No
one saw
came
that
from
coming.
nowhere.
Yeah.
That was one of those where people didn't ask that question. Obviously, it was fueled by the LIV guys as well, saying, we are still some of the best players, and yet look at our world ranking points. It's not fit for purpose, needs to change, and all the rest of it. And I think quite a few people probably said, in all fairness,
you got to agree with that.
They may have a point.
Yeah.
Now, I still haven't watched a LIV event. I've no massive kind of interest in doing it, but there's no denying that it is starting to build a little bit of momentum. And to be honest, like there's a lot of players on there that could challenge this week.
Yeah, and I think that.
Yeah, who do you reckon? I know you're going to say Brooks.
This is my out there prediction for the PGA Championship this year is that I think a LIV player is going to win it. And my initial thought would go to Brooks because of Beth. It's so very similar to Bethpage that he won in 2019. He coming off a great performance in the Masters, but then the likes of DJ as well, who just bombs it. Like this is going to be a bombers course. So you got DJ, Brooks, all those types of people that are going to be out there.
DJ just won the recent LIV event, didn't he?
Exactly. Yeah, I can literally
in Tulsa.
Tulsa.
Oklahoma.
Home of Southern Hills, isn't it? Tulsa?
Yes. Yeah.
If my Netflix watching
I was about to say,
memories,
the amount of times we saw Tulsa come up.
Just imagine, just imagine the tornado of crap that is going to hit Oak Hill if a LIV player wins.
What do you think will happen?
All that's going to happen is it's just going to reignite the debate around certainly how you rank LIV players.
Yeah,
because the argument will always be they're playing in tournaments without a cup. It's a limited field, and that is not going to be as competitive as PGA Tour events.
Yeah.
But there's absolutely no doubt that there is still a competitive element, and there is no doubt that they are still some of the best players in the world. Like, you're not telling me that Cam Smith is not a top 10 player in the world.
Yeah.
Like, he's
you're
a
right.
fantastic golfer. Brooks, I mean, admittedly, over the past few years hasn't been great, but it does seem to be coming back into form. Over recent years, there is no one better in the majors than him as far as scoring goes.
Yep.
Like, under par. DJ, you can never count out because he's just a freak. He's just so good.
In so many ways.
And then you've got other storylines as well. I know Taylor Gooch has had a really good year on
that's the big one, I think, is obviously Taylor Gooch kind of brought up the conversation of world ranking points again in the fact that he won twice in a row and went down. He's a funny one, really, because Gooch and Homer I kind of put together when they were first coming through on the PGA Tour, and I think he could have had a very similar sort of transition into the PGA Tour as Homer did, but obviously made the move to LIV. He was one of those guys, particularly for me, looking at one of those who went and was like, oh, that is a bit of a...
He was a loss because he was a future star.
Yeah, he was one that could have really made his name on the PGA Tour. And
same with Joaquin, I think.
Yeah, obviously there is other guys, and they took some more, but I think given the form that Taylor Gooch is in at the moment, two wins, obviously didn't win in Tulsa, DJ did, but he's definitely a guy that I think I'm going to be looking at. A lot of people will be looking at to see how old is he going to play out on a course like this.
Yeah, it's just if one of them wins, man, it's gonna kick off big time.
It is gonna, yeah.
Though it also depends on who wins, because if Brooks wins, I don't think it will.
No, if Brooks wins, it wouldn't be unexpected, and I think with Brooks winning, Brooks is, for me, he doesn't strike me as a massive kind of LIV spokesman. Like, he's playing on that tour because they're paying him a lot of money.
That's it.
Yeah.
And if he wins, it's going to be like, I've won because I'm awesome.
It will be the other people. It'll be other people around him that will be doing the dirty work. Well, not the dirty work, the talking and all that.
When he lifts, or if he lifts that trophy, he's going to be lifting that trophy in his Nike attire with no branding or anything on. Yeah. Compare that to someone like Patrick Reed.
Yeah.
He's going to be dressed up to the
Phil.
nines in all of his, team gear and all that kind of stuff. And there's a difference between how Brooks is going about coming and playing these majors, and then also the other LIV guys. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think it'll be interesting.
I think you're all right, Kieran. Though it'd be more the machinery around the players.
Definitely, I think that
who would
stir it.
Yeah, same with DJ as well. Like, if DJ won, he'd take the trophy, he'd go home, and he'd get back on his boat. Yeah, it'd be the people around him, the kind of LIV kind of machinery that would really kick into play.
Definitely.
And say, we have got the best players. Come watch us, yada yada yada.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting, and this is going to continue for the rest of this year as well, because the LIV players are in pretty much. Well, they're going to be in the US Open and the Open as well, with a chance to win.
For me, like the fact that the LIV players are allowed to play has made me more excited about the majors. Like last year and a few years before that, like I've not been as excited, but now I'm even more, because I don't get to see them play every week.
So coming together,
you know
what
I mean? Yeah. What it used to be like. So I'm just it makes me really excited to watch it.
To be honest, it's if LIV had never happened, and if everyone was still on the PGA Tour, I actually don't think it would be as exciting, because it's added a level of, not anarchy is a strong word, but it certainly added a level of competition between tours that kind of wasn't there. Even 100%. Even on the DP World Tour, like if a DP World Tour player wins a major, chances are that he's also playing on the PGA Tour. That I think a lot of DP World players are seen as international players who can play kind of wherever.
And there was never really that rivalry either. Rivalry, but like there's not that sort of.
No, like the Ryder Cup back in the day used to have that rivalry, but now players are seen as kind of international golfers.
Yeah.
Obviously, like the battle between DP World Tour and LIV, that's kind of hotting up recently. We'll probably cover that in another pod. I think he's added something to it.
It's just like, it's more storyline. It's just something for people to hold on to and grab onto. Talking about holding on to, JT will be wanting to try and hold on to the cup. That was quite good.
That was abrupt.
It came to me very quickly.
He just slammed on the dashboard and hit the brakes there.
Yeah, it was
fed up with it. I just want to talk about something else.
We have swung into JT Street. Right?
Yeah, I want to
go down Thomas Avenue.
We're talking about someone who is, he's the defending champion, and someone we haven't spoken about yet.
Yeah, it's because his putting's been trash.
Yeah. No one's really been talking about him at all. Like,
so you both don't think there's much chances of the defence then?
No.
No,
Okay.
but let's be honest as well. But for the 2020, no one really predicted him to win that.
No.
And then he came through. So but with JT, he has those rounds where he can just go low, can't he? And he's a major champ.
That's how he won last year.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, he came from nowhere to win that.
Exactly.
Obviously had a helping hand from a water hazard and Mito, but Mito. I think with JT, yeah, you are right. He is like a little bit streaky, you'd say. Like he has very good runs of form and then kind of disappears.
Yeah.
But the most troubling thing recently is it's mostly his putting.
Yeah.
And he's just not holding anything. I know he switched to aim point a little bit and does seem to be improving things on the green.
Yeah.
But I don't really fancy JT. But
Okay.
you can never write these players off because they're amazing.
Yeah, that run of form could start this week.
Very true. Let's be honest. If we're talking about a major player who likes an event, Justin Thomas likes the US PGA.
Yeah. He does.
He just loves that massive trophy.
He does.
The Wanamaker.
He's won it twice now. So see what happens.
He's a boy.
Yeah.
European chances. Who have we got?
I'm quite excited. Not in terms of their chances. I mean, minus obviously talking about Rory and stuff like that. I mean, Hatton's playing great at the minute. I feel like he could have a good week.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I'm excited about most is the names of guys that we don't usually see at majors, like Moronk and the Højgaards and Yannick Paul, who's playing well on the DP World Tour and currently in the Ryder Cup standings, is going in automatically at the minute. Bobby McIntyre is playing this week.
He's in. Well done.
Francesco's in for you as well.
He is.
It's going to be interesting to see how they play out. I mean, talking about guys that hit the ball really far, Nikolai whacks it a mile. You never know. He seems like a guy that could be leading after round one. Like he'll put together like a 3-4 under, really good round, and then for the next 3 days shoot over. That's how I sort of vibe it out. But it's always nice to see how they, how these guys play out in one of these fields. These are the best fields in the world. We're looking at a Ryder Cup year. I think the Højgaards are definitely in the conversation. Obviously, Moronk winning a couple of weeks ago in the Italian Open, which was great for me because it got him inside the top 50 and automatically into this week, which
there we go.
was which was very, very nice.
You're
on
lucky.
the Ryder Cup course as well.
On
the Ryder Cup course, yeah. So, obviously other bigger names. I'm going to mention Tommy Fleetwood. I'm going to mention Shane Lowry. I'm going to mention Victor Hovland. These are guys that I wouldn't be surprised who weren't up there. Lowry's got the short game around there. Has he got the other long off the tee game at the minute? Probably not.
He's straight though.
Yeah,
he will keep it on the fairway.
Yeah,
he'll keep it on the fairway.
He's not quite sort of there at the minute. He's obviously he moved on from Bo, and I'm not even sure who's on the bag for him now. But that partnership still hasn't really sort of developed into anything. Tommy's in good form, as good a form that Tommy can be in.
He always is.
Yeah, I mean, but this is better than usual.
Tommy is always in good form. Like I give up an internal organ to see Tommy win a major.
Oh wow!
Like I really would.
I would.
Like I'm not sure what. Like obviously I could lose a kidney.
I was going to say kidney's the one, innit?
Appendix. Like nobody needs that.
Yeah, and that yeah.
Maybe a portion of my liver because I can grow that back. But like it's just. I would just love him to see win one. And you know what? I think if he won one, he would be like a universally popular winner as well. Yeah. Like talking about crowds.
They'd take to the streets.
Talking about crowds rooting for a player.
Yeah.
Like the New York crowd would take to him just
so
instantly. Because he's just such a likable guy. It's incredibly hard to root against him. But he just what's he going to do to take that next level?
Matt Fitzpatrick as well. Didn't mention him.
Oh, you know what? I was really hoping that you wouldn't mention him before we got to our picks. We'll get on to him in a moment.
Oh, teaser.
Hatton is a decent outside shout.
Yeah, I like Hatton this week.
I think with Jason Day, we've kind of mentioned rest of the world. Adam Scott. I mean, you've got Joaquin Niemann, who I think is still a great player.
Yeah, there's also
I don't know what form he's been in. I have no idea.
Just looking at, I don't know what his form is either, but looking at previous champions and previous leaderboards, Louis Oosthuizen has always been up there.
Yeah,
I don't. That's
but
such a rogue one because he's not been playing very well at the moment. But
he was always up there,
Like-
though, wasn't
When he was
yeah.
the premium ball
Yeah.
striker that he was,
Yeah.
which he still can be, but
he? Ever since he won kind of his Open, like he's been such a consistent player. He's been an incredibly consistent player, always at the top of the major leaderboard, who never challenged.
Yeah.
Oh, well, bit of an oversight. He did challenge for a few, but like he was always up there, but he never felt like he was going to charge through a field
yeah.
and like take one by the scruff of the
Yeah,
neck.
yeah.
To be honest, a little bit like Tommy at the moment. You
Yeah.
feel he's always going to be up there, but he's going to need a lot to go his way.
Yeah.
Like,
I think you have to look at Asia. I think for the best rest of the world chances, like Sung Jae and Siwoo Kim, I think are guys that could do well this week. Again, Siwoo coming off a top 5 finish last week, good around the greens. Just the putting. The putting is going to be the problem for him. Sung Jae, I think is
he won last week in Korea.
Yeah, just went and played on the
Did
Asian. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. Well, say no one. He just went and played in
Wait,
Asia and won.
Honestly, I get the feeling if he's not playing a PGA Tour event, he just like literally types into Google tour event this week.
Nearest
local
golf
munis.
tournament near me.
Yeah, whatever comes up, he's there.
Love that. That's
He
brilliant.
just loves to play. Like I think he said like if he doesn't play, he doesn't know what to do during the week.
Wow. That's
Great.
So there you go.
Yeah,
Coming
there
off coming off a win, albeit against whatever the field was
You
that he
have
played
no-
against, but
You have no idea the strength of that field.
I don't.
I wonder how many world ranking points he got.
More than Dustin Johnson got.
more than
Yeah.
live. Yeah.
Right, here's the thing. So I am getting more world rank. I got more world ranking points for missing a cut in a Euro Pro event than Taylor Gooch has for
Rightly
winning, like,
so.
6 times
So-
this year.
Incredible field that you played in.
Just imagine that if I was the third tier technically of European golf, I got rewarded world ranking points for playing crap.
I
Hey,
know.
Don't diminish your greatest
there-
achievement in golf.
There is definitely something wrong with the world ranking system if I could do that. Anyway, that is another story for another day. So talk about our picks now. We'll get on to our team. So what we've done this year is us three and Mick. We've picked 4 players, and the way that the scoring system works is if they make the cut. So let's say, for me, example, Jon Rahm at the Masters, he's on my team. I got 1 point, whereas Francesco missed the cut. So I got the amount of points awarded was the amount of players who missed the cut that week.
52.
52.
52.
And we'll kind of display all the teams here. So what we're going to do is our picks for this week, we can't pick somebody who's
It's on our team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
can't pick Brooks.
Because I mean, naturally, that's why you pick them anyway.
Well,
They are your picks,
I've
but I want
got-
someone different.
I've got my first pick and my second pick and my third pick.
Wow.
What is who you thought?
Well, my third, obviously, the only issue with my my 4 people is that one of them it was Will Zalatoris. He unfortunately got injured. He's out for the season.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
So I need to pick a new player.
Yeah, so you need to
Well-
you'll have to pick someone imminently.
But
Yeah.
and
Well,
and this
George will come to that at the end. Cause
you can do, yeah. But
well-
he's my
we'll come to that at the end because we've discussed that he has to be outside the top 25 players. Because originally we will allow no substitutions, but he's moaned about it that much that we've had to give him a bye.
But this is
So the player has to be outside the top 25, and he's going to take a full miscut points reduction from adduction. No, was it added on points added on missed a cut.
yeah.
You're gonna take an extra missed score.
Math.
Jesus. Wow. Good word.
Words.
Good
Well done.
words,
Good word
lads.
usage.
Well done.
Thank
Good
God
job
it's
this is not like
thank God it's
a-
not a podcast.
Yeah. Good, yeah.
So we'll come to that at the end so we can get all our teams sorted out. But major picks outside our teams, like I mentioned,
Okay.
Yes.
Matt Fitzpatrick. Shockingly overlooked, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We are talking about the reigning US Open champion. We are talking about somebody who literally won a few weeks ago on the PGA Tour at an elevated event,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody's talking about him. Now, I know his form hasn't been like consistently amazing, but it has something to do with the fact that he is still massively underrated. It really is.
I don't know what it is. Like,
It's. I think part of it is that he's not like a loud guy.
yeah, that's
he's
yeah.
very quiet, isn't
He's
he?
very quiet, very reserved, goes about his business. I think it's the fact that he's obviously relatively small in stature.
What, physically.
Yeah, like if Brooks enters the room with his personality and his,
Head
his massive ego,
when he gets it through the door.
And his massive arms.
when he walks into a room, like he has a certain amount of presence. Now, in my opinion, like a lot of people overlook Fitzpatrick because he doesn't have that same kind of charisma.
Yeah.
I know.
Because
yeah,
he's just
I know what you mean.
he's just like a he's
Wears
an ul-
sketches.
he's an ultimate professional. I absolutely love his game, and I think he is shockingly overlooked at times.
You do like Fitzpatrick, don't you?
No, I think for me, just his work ethic, the way he goes about everything, the way he's changed his game because he knew he was kind of falling behind a little bit as far as distance goes. He's an incredible putter.
Yeah.
He's got fantastic attributes, and yeah, I really like the way he plays, and I think he's got a great chance.
I like that. Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
It sounds really good. Do you wanna go second, mate?
I can do.
I think you should go second, Jacob.
No.
well,
I've
I'm gonna need my laptop because
I've got mine.
I've got some notes.
Mine will be Jason Day.
Yours will be Jason
Yeah,
Day.
mine's going to be Jason Day.
And he's going to go in your team as well.
No, he's not going to go on my team.
Oh, wow.
No, he's not going to go on my
Love
team.
it. Ooh.
He's not going to go on my team because he's also like 14th in the world now, so he's out. I can't pick him.
He's not that high.
Wait, oh no, sorry, he's 20th. He's
Yeah.
20th. Sorry.
Right,
He's 20th.
okay. Love
Yeah.
it.
No, he's 20th.
Oh, my God, I hate that for you. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Who are we
So-
going to pick?
Yeah.
So
But no,
Jason
Jason Day.
okay.
Jason Day. I'm going to go for
I
him.
mean, it's a good pick. It's a good
Yeah.
pick.
Who's your pick going to be?
My pick is based on stats.
Right.
It's based on data. It's based on analytics. It's based on sweat and grind to
Right.
work this out.
So Jacob's gone all Cambridge Analytica on us, and he's basically got a raft of stats. Now, we did this for the Masters, and I think rather unnervingly, we netted out that Patrick Cantley had the best chance of winning.
Yeah.
And really nerve-wrackingly, he was up there for 3 days.
He was there.
He was there.
And
Slowly, but there.
and Jacob got like I would say a lot of not exactly hate, but a lot of people cursing him for picking Patrick Cantley because they thought you gave him an extra chance of winning. And he was just there, tappy tap tap, tappy tap tap, 2-minute pre-shot routine, almost to a green jacket, and I think people would have lost their minds.
Yeah.
So
Well, hopefully I can pick someone a bit more
if at the
favourable.
if at the end of these stats you net out of Patrick Cantley, I think that's it. I think we shut down the pod.
That would be quite funny, wouldn't it? To
It
go
wouldn't.
for all that.
It wouldn't. I can't put up with that. again.
Patrick Cantley. No, it's not Patrick Cantley. I will.
Okay.
I will spoil that already.
Everybody, stay tuned.
You're okay.
Don't
So,
turn off and burn your phone. We are okay.
you ready?
Hit us.
So it was a lot easier with Augusta because naturally they are returning to a course that you can see how people play around it. Obviously now we're going to a different course every time with the PGA Champ unless it was from previous years. Now going back again to 2013 was when the course, as we've mentioned, was very different. So we're almost coming to a brand new golf course essentially. But there's some stuff that I've tried to work in both in course relation and also PGA champions in the past. So, in the last 10 winners, 9 of them are in the top 30, going into the week. Okay?
Players in the world.
Players in the world.
Okay.
Official Golf World Rankings. I will prefix this by saying that LIV golfers aren't involved in this, and that's no bias from me. It's just a fact that
You couldn't find any stats.
there's no stats on them, and the world rankings are slightly fluctuating. But anyway,
Yeah.
we'll move on.
That's fine.
So, moving on from that, 8 of the last 10 winners have had a top 5 finish in their 6 prior PGA Tour events to the PGA Championship.
Okay, got you.
So I've found the top 30, found who fits into that. I've removed the Zurich Classic out of it because
It doesn't count.
doesn't count. Foursome 4 balls, playing as a pair, doesn't really matter. On top of that, 8 of the last 10 winners have had a top 20 finish in their last 2 starts.
Okay.
Okay. So, those two kind of merge fairly well, but I've tried to see what I could find. And then also, 9 of the 10 previous winners have had a previous top 20 at the PGA Championship. So playing into the fact that being up around the top of the leaderboard has played out well for them. They've got some experience.
This is a thick sieve.
It's a thick sieve.
Yeah, very
But this
thick
is the stuff that I need to go into.
Wow, okay.
So, after sieving through.
Okay, so you've sieved all the PGA plays through.
Yep, I've got 11 names.
And in your bowl,
Yep.
who's left?
Who's left is, as you could imagine, Jon Rahm,
Yep.
Scottie Scheffler,
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Cantlay.
Oh,
Maybe it is going to be him. Maybe it's Kerbal. Xander Schauffele,
yeah.
Jordan Spieth, but could cross him off.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
he might not play. Tony Finau,
Mm.
Tyrrell Hatton, Sung Jae Im, Jason Day, Hideki Matsuyama, and Corey Connors.
Corey Connors.
Okay.
I
Major
like Corey
specialist,
Connors.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I like Corey Connors.
After going through all that, I thought, well, let's see actually data stats-wise, playing-wise, what plays out best on PGA Championships. And in particular, what can I find from previous years at Oak Hill?
Okay.
Greens in reg is a big one. So if you go back to 2003 when Sean McKeel won, he was 6th. He was 6th.
Dark days.
Yeah.
Dark days for the PGA
He was
Championship,
6th in greens in reg after that week.
Okay.
The runner-up, Michael Campbell? Michael?
Yeah?
He was 1st.
Put some respect
Sorry.
on New Zealand's best
As
golfer's name. Oh, my word.
As I said it didn't sound right in my head, but so he was 1st in greens in reg after that week.
And where did he win his major? Michael Campbell?
I don't know.
Pinus number 2, also a Donna Ross design.
Oh, he's going to win.
He's back.
In 2013, Jason Duffner was 3rd in greens in reg of that week. Furyk, who finished 2nd, was 6th. And the top 2 of the senior majors that have been held there, one was like 2018, one was 2020 or something like that. The guys who have come in the top 2 have also finished in the top 6 of greens in reg. So naturally at Oak Hill, greens in reg is big.
Okay, so how are we going to use that stat to
So-
further sieve the bowl?
Further sieving is done by looking at the top 30 the top 30 on the PGA Tour season this year for greens in reg.
Okay.
And that has sieved out Jason Day, Xander Schauffele, Tony Finau, Corey Connors, Jon Rahm, and Scottie Scheffler.
So they're left.
So they're
Corey
left.
Connors is still
Right,
in there.
still
Wow.
in there, yeah. He's an iron
Yeah,
striker.
yeah,
though.
yeah.
So, there's still 6 names there. I need to sieve out more.
Let's keep
I need to
sieving.
keep
Okay.
grinding out some names. So I've looked at tee to green, and I've looked at off the tee. Now, I looked at tee to green because 6 of the 9 previous winners of the PGA Champs have been in the top 4 for that.
Obviously.
Tee to green, important. So I did some sieving, and it didn't sieve anyone out.
Right, okay.
So
There's a hole in the sieve.
There's
Okay.
still in looking in the top 30 on the tour.
It was more
this
a
year.
colander you used.
Yeah, I've just basically poured it through, and
Love it,
it's
okay.
nothing's out. So I've but needed to see what happened. I looked at off the tee. Off the tee has done some help for me.
Interesting.
So looking at the guys that are in the top 30 on the PGA Tour this year, that has left Scheffler, Rahm, surprise, shock, Corey Connors, Tony Finau, and Jason Day.
Corey Connors.
Corey Collins is still there.
Still there. So now I've got through all of that. Now I've kind of had to go off piece a little bit and try and work out what I think is going to be important. And we've spoken about the bunkers this week. We've spoken about, if getting in them is going to be tricky. I think bunker play is going to be really important this week.
Okay.
So I use sand saves because
Wow.
making pars is going to be important. I think the way it's going to play out this week, I don't think it's going to be a big score. I think you're going to need to make pars. That's going to be important. So looking at sand saves on the PGA Tour this year, in the top 30, there are 2 players that remain on that list.
Oh. Please let it be Corey
Yeah.
Collins.
And their names is Jason Day and Tony Finau.
Oh.
So
Oh my God.
Corey Connors has been knocked off. Now, I'm going to say right now, he is 100% an outsider for me. Like I'm going to put him
Connors,
out there.
Yeah.
The only thing that, in terms of all these metrics I've gone through, the only thing that lets him down is the sand saves.
Right.
So take that as you will, but I think you can get him for like 80-1 at the minute. So he's there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
So I got to a point now where I was like, how much more sieving can I really do? Like, do I need to keep trying to find anything, or shall I just kind of level? Let's have a look at all of those stats and see between Tony Finau and Jason Day who ranks out better.
Okay.
And that's what I've done. So in greens in reg, Tony Finau was 14th, Jason Day's 24th.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1-0 to Finau.
Yeah.
Tee to green, Finau is 3rd, Jason Day's 12th. It's 2-0 to Finau.
Wow.
Off the tee, Finau was 24th, Day is 25th. That's 3-0 to Finau.
My word. This is a rout.
Ball striking, 10th for Finau, 14th for Day. That's 4-0. And
It's like Peterborough versus Sheffield Wednesday.
it is a bit, isn't it? Yeah. And we got to the point now where I'm looking at it. Oh, and sand saves. Finau was 21st. Jason Day's 23rd. That's 5-0 Finau.
Wow.
So
A battery.
right here,
So-
right now, I am putting my stake, my flag, into Mr. Tony Finau. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Has won in the last
It
couple
won
of weeks. Won in
Mexico, yeah.
Mexico.
Mexico.
Hold off Jon Rahm. He's going to have to probably do it again. On top of that, he ranks 6th over the last 5 years on par 70 courses, which this is what this is playing at over the last 5 years. He's 28th in approaches from 175 to 200 yards, and he's 25th in approaches from 125 to 150 yards, which is what the most likely approaches and 2 holes is going to be. So,
Wow.
Tony Finau, here we go.
That is some stunning research. That sieve got. How many sieves did you use there? Like
I got
7
through.
sieves.
I got through.
That's
a
like one of
few.
those multi-sieve packets you buy at Aldi. Just like there's
Yeah.
64 sieves in there, like all of different
Well, you know,
sizes.
it got smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
And then it got
that
to a
last
point-
sieve was tiny.
Yeah.
Just to fit those two in there.
I
Wow.
wonder who's got Tony Finau in their like picks.
Would that be you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
What a surprise.
Of course.
Wow, so Tony Finau. I mean, listen, if you are looking at a player to make the step up and win a major that haven't already,
Yep.
like he's in there. He's going to be.
I think
And
for a
bombs
PGA
it.
Championship as well, that lends itself nicely as in terms of a guy that hasn't won one yet. But
It's like the worst one.
It's basically what you just said. Yeah.
But I've picked a guy that I think is universally liked. So if this helps him in any way, I'm sure the people will be
imagine
a lot happier.
Imagine
But
the scene.
Jason Day for you, mate.
Yeah,
Big-
yeah.
big-
Imagine
yeah.
the scenes. You know, he cries quite a lot. You know, imagine the scenes when he cries at the Mexico compared to now winning a major. Compared to what are we gonna need? We need blooming buckets coming down to him.
Did he actually cry in Mexico?
Nope.
No. Did he?
No.
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 Honestly, I think
He held it together.
that Netflix documentary, I honestly think he rang himself dry. Like,
Yeah, he's got nothing
He's got
left.
nothing left.
he is an arid desert right now.
Yeah.
Like, he's cool, he's calculated,
Yeah.
he's aqua-free.
I would also, like to make a mention to Tommy, because if I didn't, then I feel like I'd be doing him a disservice. And he's, in terms of when I was looking at the stats, the only thing that really let him down through that like first couple of metrics of like top 10 finishes, he hasn't had a top 20 at the PGA Championship, which actually surprised me. I think his best is T29 in 2020.
Yeah.
But that was the only thing letting him down. He got through a couple of civs. He got through a couple.
Yeah.
But at the minute, tee to green, he's ranking 9th around the green. He's 5th. Sand saves, he's 31st. He's after the last three starts, he's gained strokes off the tee and approach play.
You just
He's
gotta
got
let it go.
T5 and T15 in his last 2 starts.
Gotta let it go, man.
Tommy.
It's fine. You're on the chopping board, you sieved him out, and now you're trying to put him back in the stew. We have a perfect Tony Finau sauce on the table.
Let's just leave it at that.
No need to add anybody
It's
else.
a little like Fleetwood's the croutons to put in the soup. He's the nice little taster.
We've got a soup. We've got a stew.
Now we got a Finau soup. That's what I'm having it as.
Wow.
I've made a Finau soup.
Finau soup. Okay, Finau soup. Here we go.
I've done a lot of blending and a lot of sieving.
We have found out. We have found out who's going to be.
So yeah, there's your winner.
Well done, mate. Really, that was very good.
Thank you.
That was a lot of info it's taken. But
Yeah,
it
I
was
know that can be sometimes quite difficult to listen to, but I hope you enjoy
Intense,
it.
man.
good. So, and it's
So
like an
intense.
hour and 10 in, you're like, you're winding down.
Yeah.
It's like,
Wow.
wow.
It's like, wow. And then you just like jacked up on
Yeah.
stats.
Yeah.
Now adrenaline is
I
running.
stat jack.
It's one of them. Is I don't know if you got, but I love that stuff. So, and I'm sure, hopefully, there's a couple of guys out there that do as well. But
I like listening to it. Like, numbers aren't my forte, so
No,
I-
neither.
so if someone does
Yeah.
the work for you, then
Yeah.
that's fine.
I'm not a big sieve guy.
Okay.
I like chunky stuff. You know what I mean?
You like chunky soup, don't you?
Yeah.
You always love
Do you like
chunky
orange
soup.
juice with pulp in?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
into pulp? I'm
Yeah.
not a pulp guy. See,
You're not a
I
pulp
need
guy.
my sieving.
Yeah. I never sieve the pulp. To be honest, I wouldn't even have orange juice. I just have the orange. I won't even peel it. Because I want the zest.
Do you just bite it like an apple?
Yeah. Is that how you do it? No, same with bananas. Have it all. So
Wow.
after that insight into our culinary exploits, I think it's almost time to say goodbye. We have, if you have been listening to the podcast in a while, if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, we have recently reached 10,000 subscribers. If you are listening to this and you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do. If you're watching this and you haven't followed us on your favorite podcast provider, now is the time, goddammit. But this is just to give you a little bit of a leeway. We have a giveaway coming for the Rough Cut YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed, you need to be a subscriber to be in it to win it. You are going to want to be in it to win it, because if you do win it, you are going to be in it. And what I mean by in it is your happy place, because it's going to be a fantastic prize.
How many times has in it said then?
Don't know. No idea.
Oh my god!
Is that everything? Have we wrapped up everything? Do we
I
need to
think
remind people of our major picks, or
Yeah, there was one
do we
more.
just want to?
Oh, yeah, you.
My pick.
Oh, yeah, no, you've already said, haven't you?
I
Oh, no,
haven't
you've
said-
not.
No, I've
hasn't.
not said.
My
No.
God, I'm
Wow.
so sorry, everybody. I had Jason Day in my mind, but you refused to pick him.
I can't
Inside
pick
the
him.
top
I can't pick
25.
him because,
Okay,
yeah.
Kieran, I apologise. We're displaying our teams here for the majors. Kieran,
Yeah.
who are you going to add?
So I'm going to add. There's two players that I had in mind, and it was Shane Lowry and Dustin Johnson. Now,
I think he's gone Shane. The way he backed him when I said, "Oh, he hits it straight. He hits it straight."
No,
Oh,
Dustin.
You are going to go full live, aren't you? You are, aren't you?
Honestly, I'm so torn. I'm so torn between it, because I had a look at what where DJ is. He's 84th in the world.
He's rubbish now.
Yeah, he's rubbish now. Whereas Shane Lowry's like 30th. So I'm so torn, and I don't know what to do. But I'm gonna go with the Irish. I'm gonna get the Irish out of me.
It's just a nepotism.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
with the Irish, and I'm gonna put Shane Lowry in my team.
I'll be honest, I would have gone with DJ.
Come on, Shane. I mean, DJ. Honestly,
David has just looked over in disgust.
no, but David, they've got the Opens coming up. Everything like US
No,
Open.
You've got to think
bigger picture, David.
Exactly, bigger picture. Like,
No, you have to think bigger picture outside the Emerald Isle.
well,
Wait, you've
Nah,
lost
he's
it.
right. He's
No.
nuts. He said it. He's
I
done.
know, I've
Shane
gone,
Lowry.
I've gone for that. But also, my team
So-
name was like 4 Americans in a pod. So now it's like 3 Americans and an Irishman in a pod.
Yeah, that's true.
3 in a bed, and the little one said Shane Lowry.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know.
Exactly right. So yeah, he's my pick.
In all fairness, though, like as much as I want to win this little competition, I would love to see Shane.
Yeah,
challenge
no, that
for
would
the
be great.
majors, So
That would be great.
yeah, that would be good. Right. Well, here we are then. We have come to the climax of the podcast. It is the second major of the year, ladies and gentlemen. So if you haven't already cleared your diary, if you live in the UK or Europe for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evening, make sure you do so now, because it is going to be wonderful. I am sensing potentially one of the greatest US PGA Championships in living memory. Golfers from across the world will go head to head and battle it out on a classic design which has been brought back to its full strength and majesty. Who will be crowned champion come Sunday night? We do not know, but I'm glad that you've spent this time with us to preview the US PGA. Please, if you haven't already, follow us on your favorite podcast provider. We're on social media and on YouTube. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
See you later. Bye bye.
Can we have
Fino.
some classic music to like play us out there, like proper cheesy,
Yeah.
like.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I know what you mean.